Good morning, everyone. Welcome to 1 Million Cups. So glad that you could join us this morning. We have a fantastic speaker today. We have Miss Deborah Franklin with Bicycle Oven Company. So excited to learn a little bit more about her business. So without further ado, let us welcome Deborah. Deborah, it's all yours.
Hi, I'm Deborah Franklin, and I'm owner of the Bicycle Oven Company. There is more to a bicycle than learning to ride and repair it. We teach you how and so much more. I am just moving to the Fayetteville area. Originally, I'm from Chicago, Illinois. And in Chicago, I used my bicycle to go to various places, such as my babysitting jobs. And I also was a paper girl. Currently, I'm a USA cycling coach, and most importantly, I'm a lead cycling instructor. When I was in 5th grade, a neighborhood boy asked me to deliver his papers, and I sort of liked working for myself. That was an opportunity for me to supplement my income, and I was able to go on to college and actually just get outside my neighborhood. So what happened was, when I moved I moved from Chicago to Charlotte. And when I moved to Charlotte, there was a study by Harvard that said that if you're born in Charlotte, if you're born poor in Charlotte, you stay poor as an adult. And so on my bus, I'm able to carry 2 bicycles. So I decided that I wanted my passengers to have the same opportunity as me. So I decided to start talking to my passengers about using their bicycle to get to their final destination. In my neighborhood, bicycling began as an inferior form of transportation. People who bicycled were poor, didn't own a car, or were merely children with toys. Now cycling is seen as a hobby for men in spandex, but others who never go to bicycle shops want to ride bikes. So in my neighborhood back in Chicago Heights, I was schooled by the staff in the kitchen. So everyone always asks me, what is the Bicycle Oven Company? The Bicycle Oven Company is my story. I was able to listen to mentors in that kitchen. We would bicycle to a place called Flossmoor, Illinois. It was right outside the neighborhood, really in a field. And so when you think about mountain biking, there were hills back there, and we didn't know we were mountain biking, but we were mountain biking on those hills. And over those hills was mansions. And so we would cycle so far from the house that we would get thirsty or needed a drink of water. And we would notice that the staff was, we would look around for a place to get water, and we would notice the black staff. And then we finally learned that by the kitchen was where the black staff would hang out. And sometimes even the owners of the house would hang out in the kitchen. So at that kitchen table, they would tell us to go to college, do good in school, you can make it. And so in that kitchen, I learned about opportunities. Opportunities existed for me, and I took advantage of that. And I wanted to pass that on to my passengers. So I submit to you that it's probably the same in Fayetteville or any North Carolina county, that some people do not have the same opportunity as other people. And so I began just wanting people to utilize my bike rack. And from there, I found out that other people were interested in learning about bicycling. And actually, I would say that in Charlotte, unlike Chicago Heights, people were getting hit by cars, grown adults, not the children. And so if I told you to ride your bicycle, I wanted you to be safe. And so I started having safety classes. And then I had an opportunity to go to Florida to become a lead cycling instructor. I wanted to do it right. And so after a few months, those bicycle racks were empty again. And I wondered what happened. Why aren't you guys riding your bicycle? And so I was told that, well, my bike has a flat tire, or my chain fell off and I can't put it back on. And so then I had the opportunity to go to Oregon to learn how to fix bikes myself. And all of that I was just going to show my passengers. And once I did that, once I received certification, then as far as my outreach, my initial target was beginner bicyclists or the underserved community. But as I began my outreach, which was setting up booths at local high schools or any kind of career fair, I found out that men in spandex wanted the training as well. And so I was able to expand my business to anyone who wanted to ride a bike or learn how to repair a bike. So now we provide, so then I developed the Bicycle Oven Company. Reason why I didn't use kitchen, because there are bicycle kitchens nationwide. I wanted something to stand out, a name to stand out. And so when you Google kitchen, bicycle kitchen, you could be anywhere in the nation, but when you Google Bicycle Oven Company, that puts you right in North Carolina. So now we provide a comprehensive training for individuals who want to learn to ride for fun and fitness or competitively. So I offer coursework as well to individuals that want to be advocates for their local community and even governmental positions. We offer practicums to careers in the industry, such as the mechanics to build or repair bicycles. Financially, I was charging $50 an hour for my services, but actually I have listened to a couple of your events. And so I decided to raise my price to see what happened. In the Chicago area, the fee for a lead cycling instructor is the equivalent to $100 an hour. So we offer smart cycling classes, which is our introductory class for $100. And then we also offer discount prices for groups of 8, and that's the equivalent to $100 an hour. As far as my competition would be the regular bike shop, and also sports groups that offer soccer or taekwondo classes, anything that any kind of sports activity is my competition. As far as what can you do for me, I have my social media accounts is You Go Bike. And so if you like our initiative, you can go to my Facebook page, Instagram page, or Twitter and like my services. And also, number 2, I'm looking for young adults, ages 18 to 24 years old. And also I'm looking for Fayetteville kitchens. We, I, I love the atmosphere in a kitchen because most kitchens is to hang out. And it's just a warm feeling inside when you smell something baking or cooking. And so we do offer rides to kitchens, and we talk about career counseling and things in that nature. And then as far as the Microsoft suite, if you hear of anyone that's offering training regarding Excel classes or just working email, things like that, I need help with that as well. Right now, I would like, if you're able to, if you go to bikeleague.org, that's BIKELEAGUE.org, you may see someone you know on that homepage. I was just recognized as the LCI of the month. Thank you for your attention, and I'll take some questions.
Well, thank you, Deborah. I have a question. I'm a little still trying to grasp. For your class, what are you teaching me? What am I going to get from it?
So as far as the instruction that you'll receive with our smart cycling program, that's our basic training. And it teaches you to handle yourself on the bicycle. We teach you to be aware of the rules of the road, as well as just driving your bicycle to your destination. Our goal is to get you there the same way that you left your home. So and then the second piece to that is for the smart cycling course is a prerequisite to become a league cycling instructor. Or if you want to, if you just want to be familiar with bicycling in general and the industry in general, we certify you to be a bicycle marshal.
Okay, I understand that part, and thank you for explaining that. Do you also offer like classes for people who just like want to ride in a bike club or want the safety and security of traveling together?
Yes, group cycling. So we go on instructional rides. And so there's certain signal, it's like being in a car when you signal that you're going to the right or going to the left, but we also teach you the exact place that you need to be in that lane so people can see you. And we like to say we're predictable. And so you will see in some areas of town, people will ride on the wrong side of the street. They'll ride on the sidewalk. Usually on the sidewalk, you'll see individuals 12 years old and lower is able to ride on the sidewalk. But there's some areas of town that you can ride on the sidewalk because it's safer. And we teach you to go through your community in a safe way. So our smart cycling courses are tailored to your individual community, and we teach you how to get around in your community safely. But also with that, we have individuals that want to race in races. So I'm also a USA cycling coach, and that's a different sort of training, but we train you to maybe one day be in the Olympics. Starting with local rides and building up to the Olympics. Or any kind of competition, I'll say.
So Deborah, I have a question. Do you have courses that are tailored toward a younger audience, so our youth?
Yes. So we have so first of all, we teach the balance concept. So you will see that when I was raised, we put training wheels on the bikes, but now we have a balance concept. So once we get you to balance, such as using what we call a balance bike, And I had meant to bring one inside with me so you could see, but a balance bike does not have pedals. We teach you how to balance yourself, and that starts at age 2 and perhaps goes all the way to age 6. Then after you get your balance, then we actually put the pedals back on. And so with bicycling, it's all about your balance. And most of the kids are able to just ride. After we teach them how to glide, and after a while, they're able to balance. And so one thing about bicycling, you will see that children will not ride for their parents, but they'll learn with me. They're with the kids, as long as their feet are on the ground, they feel safe. And with the balance bike technique, your feet are on the ground. And actually, that's one of our most popular classes.
And someone put in the chat, they want to know, what is your largest age group that you enroll in your program?
Say that again.
What is your largest age group that you enroll in your program?
Well, we have a senior, with the AARP, that age group starts at 50 and it goes all the way to forever. And so we do have older adults that ride with us. Also, we have a plan to purchase a TriStraw. And that is a device that a bicyclist can bicycle 2 people behind them. You may have saw them in popular cities, how instead of taking a taxi cab, you can jump on the back of a bicyclist and they'll cart you around town. And we'll be doing that for nursing home residents. That's something that I plan on purchasing and partnering up with a nursing home to start giving individuals rides, and that it's done on a volunteer basis as far as my group, and it's just a way for young people to get involved with the older adults. So we have that, and then we have older adults that want to ride. I was invited to an AARP event, and I don't really need business cards most of the time. I just need my bike helmet, and I'll just put my bike helmet in the middle of the table, and eventually someone's going to ask me if I bicycle, and I say, yes, do you? And some older adults have never learned how to ride a bicycle, and we teach older adults with the balance bike concept as well. We have balance bikes for adults.
Since you mentioned older adults, it kind of leads into a question I wanted to ask you anyway. Do you work with people who have certain physical limitations who still want to be able to bike, but they may have to have some accommodations or modifications to be able to do that? And
just on Sunday, I actually, a fellow called me, and he is amputee, and he wants to be a lead cycling instructor. And so, yes, we're beginning in that process right now. And I'm real excited about the possibility to help with, we cycle for age, it's age and abilities. And so we want everyone cycling, and that's part of why I mentioned the TriStraw, because we want any age or any ability able to ride the bicycle, or to the best of their ability, participate in cycling, because it's fun. We like to say we leave as strangers and we come back as friends. Even a flat tire is a social event, because everyone always has a different way of repairing a flat tire, and it's just fun to see what happens when we need to change one tire, it turns out to be a group event.
I have a question, Deborah. I actually have a couple. Are
Okay.
are you involved with the Silver Sneakers program by chance for seniors? Many seniors are actually utilizing that. My mom uses it. Are you affiliated with them?
Not yet. Silver Sneakers, do they walk? Is it,
So it
are
is
they walking?
it's a fitness program, and I think my mom uses that through a gym, but I think they have a variety of resources. And obviously biking is a great form of exercise. So I would definitely check into that.
Okay, and I will. And so let me tell you one more thing. So originally when I started my program, I was going to be teaching individuals, but what happened is I ended up teaching groups. It's a whole bunch of people that want to start bicycling programs, and somehow I got involved with that. And so now this year, and then COVID happened as well. So people say there was a big bicycle boom and people were riding bicycles, which was scary to me because they didn't have any directives. No one looks at the rules of the road. Once you get your license, in North Carolina, you have to be really, really, really old to have to retest. And so once you get your license, you never look at the rules of the road again. And so that was part of my fear that we would have more people riding on the wrong side of the street. And so now in 2022, after COVID, I guess now we're supposed to live with COVID, we'll be able to branch out to the general population. So right now I've been working with bicyclists, and so now I get to go outside and play again.
So I know you mentioned Twitter, Instagram. Do you have a website?
So that's another reason why I need you guys. So I actually have a website. I have the website bicycleoven.com, but it either goes to my Facebook page or Twitter page. And so I have to build a website. I have to get someone to build a website for me.
Deborah, I have a couple of questions for you.
Okay.
This sounds like a great YMCA program. Have you
Yes.
contacted them?
Okay, so during COVID, I retired from CATS and I moved here to Apex. So all of that kind of programming is in Charlotte. So I was very much involved with the YMCA and park and recs. And so now I have to do the same in the Wake County area. So it's like I'm pretty much just learning the area. And so, yes, I will be contacting YMCA. I already contacted the Park and Recs in Apex, but people have been contacting me.
There's a lot of community groups out there.
Yeah.
One of the things, I lived in Fargo, which was a huge biking community. And our neighborhood association would actually bring somebody like you in and do a demonstration, and then we'd all go on a bike ride. But because it's downtown and everything, it could be a little bit dangerous. So it was really great to have somebody come in and make sure that everybody was safe as they bike through the area. But yeah, I would highly recommend you I don't know what you're doing at this point, but to get in touch with a lot of different types of civic groups. Much like Lori was mentioning, I think it's a great opportunity for you, and certainly see that there's a greater benefit or that you can progress much quicker and get a little bit higher income working with groups and individuals. That's tough to have somebody shell out $50 an hour or $100 an hour to learn how to fix a tire or something. But if you could take groups, you can make a few $100 in one shot doing the same thing.
Right. And actually that was for the professional training. So I should have said that as far as when we do our outreach to the communities, the prices is way less than that. So that was like the training piece. But as far as actually teaching people how to ride, I've been doing it on a one-to-one basis, depending on what they could pay. And actually with me too, it's better if we have groups, and we try to work with groups of 8 to make sure everyone's safe. And then the more experience, first of all too, we're in parking lots right now where we practice in parking lots, and then we venture out into the streets when I figure that the whole group is ready. And so when you mentioned the community, I am looking, I don't even think I mentioned that. I am looking for employees, and especially in the Fayetteville area, because Fayetteville is going to be my start. So I am looking for employees, ideally between the age of 18 to 24, because it's a good part-time job. It's a good part-time.
In regards to your location, you've mentioned several different places, and on your Facebook page, it has you pinned as Apex, and then in your description, it talks about Fayetteville. So where are you actually at?
So my target areas is Apex, Fayetteville, and Charlotte. So that's why I need employees, because right now I'm just on the highway. I'm just,
So
because go ahead.
I would recommend you trying to get a hold of the Small Business Center in one of those areas. Fayetteville, of course, I'm at the Fayetteville Small Business Center. I'm the secretary here. And they can help you with your marketing plan, because if you're working in all 3 of those areas, you're going to want to put all 3 of those areas in your little description, because like I just said, I'm confused. You have a pin at one spot, you're talking about another spot, and then in your presentation, you talked about a 3rd spot that wasn't even mentioned. So they can help you with that marketing on your Facebook page, and they can also guide you through, okay, well, this is what you need on your website, how to design that, and a couple options on the best builder to use.
Yes.
So we would be happy to help you with that if that's what you are wanting to do.
Yes, that's what I need, because
Yeah.
you hit it right on, Ms. Moore, because I do feel like I'm all over the place, even on my Instagram accounts, Instagram and Twitter, I'm twittering everywhere. And so I guess I didn't know exactly how to arrange that whole scenario. And also with people that want to work for me, they're in different areas.
Mhm.
And so I didn't know how to manage that at all.
Yeah, there's a small business center that helps with all the counties in North Carolina. So whichever one you're wanting to focus on first, contact that center. And if it's here, I'll give you the information to request counseling, get that one-on-one started, so you can get that marketing more streamlined for you, and
Thank
get
you.
started on that website.
Sure, thanks.
Because I think that website can really boost you.
Yes, and
Then you can set up the interactive register for the classes online instead of having to do it all by phone or in person.
so you said you're at Fayetteville Tech?
Yep.
That's where I want to be.
Yep. We help all through Cumberland County, and that would be a really
Okay.
exciting thing to get going.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
If anyone has a question or suggestion, please feel free to either unmute yourself and ask or offer the suggestion, or you can type it in the chat, because we do monitor the chat for you. But I have a question for you, Deborah.
Okay.
You talked a little bit about your pricing. What are the costs that you have with your business? What kinds of costs do you have that's unique to what you do?
So that's a good question. So actually, I don't have, the only cost that I have right now is the rent in the 3 places. And other than that, I don't. As far as the bicycles, I probably need some more adult bicycles. So I need to make that purchase. But right now, I received a training, and so I have the skills. So I was just thinking about that the other day, that I really don't have any cost. I didn't mention the bicycles. We do take donations. I know TikTok, I gotta learn that. That's why I need help with social media. But as far, and now I forgot what I was saying, but what was the question again?
Your cost.
When I saw TikTok,
Mhm.
okay, so as far as my cost, I was just looking at that the other day, and it's just the rent for the facilities, because it's easier for me to have a facility to work in, just the same facility, although we do go out to other facilities. I love to travel to park and rec areas, or anyone involved with the city, because then I get to use their space. But I'm sorry, I'm reading the chat too. So as far as my cost, my biggest cost will probably be my employees.
Except for you forgot one thing.
What?
You never once mentioned the value of your time. You need to factor in that you have time that you're devoting into this business, and you need to put a value on it.
Okay.
Your time is valuable too. I mean, especially in something like this, it tends to be more service industry rather than selling a product. You need to include the value of your time and your expertise. Yes. Ms. Williams has a question or a comment. Ms. Williams?
Hi, good morning. Great presentation, Ms. Franklin. You actually touched on what I was going to ask, because I have 2 bicycles, fairly new, that I can donate. And I was going to ask if you take donations, but
Yeah.
you mentioned that before I put my hands up. And also, I wanted to find out, you were mentioning meeting at the kitchen. I was not sure, what do you mean by meeting at the kitchen?
So with our group rides, as far as training, we have to go somewhere.
Mhm.
So we're not going to stay in the parking lot forever. We
Okay.
have to go somewhere. And so the kitchen is just my story.
Okay.
It began with me in the kitchen. And so I plan on that. So I have a ride called the Kitchen Ride, where we ride to big kitchens. So,
Okay.
any kind of special kitchen,
Okay.
we'll take a ride. If we have a person that's involved with us that happens to have a restaurant, we'll ride to that restaurant.
Okay.
In Charlotte, they would ride to the breweries, but we don't want to ride to the
Right. Okay. Well, I'll be willing to help you. I also have a transportation company. I have transit vans. Do you have a number where I can reach out to you if you want to side note me? Because I will pick up some bikes and deliver for you if you need that.
And actually, so I didn't show my last screen. So my last screen was how to get a hold of me. So I'll put it in the chat. Actually.
Okay. And then I'll reach out to you after.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions?
That was a great suggestion. And I love seeing when people from 1 Million Cups come together and work together to help each other, because it just makes everybody stronger then. So that's awesome. Athena did put in the chat that have you looked at partnering with bike shops? So to share some space with them, because you're benefiting both of them. They come in to get a bike, but you're thinking about it more, especially if you have a kid and the kid doesn't know how to ride it, or they want to know about the safety because they don't want their child in danger. And you would be kind of a great complement to them.
Yes, that's exactly right. I did visit one. I was able to visit 2 bike shops, I believe. But basically I was just doing research, and I was trying to see if they sell bikes or do they have rides, things such as that, or do they have classes? Another, what is that? REI? REI was another good source for me. in Charlotte in Mecklenburg County because they also have bicycle classes, but basically they do like for someone to come in and do the classes for them. And so I will be, and they're also great sponsors. So I will be visiting them as well. And they also offer, when they offer free space, and then it's right there in their store. And I really love that as well. Because sometimes people would go for my class to buy a bike from them,
And I
which
think
was
that's
good for me.
and that is a great partnership. You did mention you have offices in all 3 locations. And you mentioned that one of your costs is the rental of the space. Are you in like co-working space where it helps to
Yes.
offset the cost? Good.
Yes, right now I'm in co-working spaces, but once I start, I wish I had bought a picture of my garage. So I also rent 2 garages and they're packed with bicycles. So my goal is to get some kind of warehouse, but warehouses, they charge by the square feet. And so it probably will be a while, but I'm trying to manage with the space that I have. But so the garages really help me a lot. And then as far as the repair service, I want to establish 8 to 16 workstations. And so that's where a warehouse would really come in handy. So I hope we're able to get a warehouse soon. And I also wanted to mention that so the people that offer my services, because I'm a non-traditional bicycle shop, and so there's about 3 or 4 of them that I have found. One person that I have trained myself, probably a couple of people that I trained myself have offered us their services. And so from her little SUV, now she has a van. And so I'm looking forward to getting out there and start teaching classes for our citizens themselves.
If you are looking for a way that some of the people you're teaching how to repair can get some experience, in Fayetteville, we have this organization, it's a nonprofit called the Bicycle Man, where they do bicycle giveaways to kids at Christmas time. And it's become quite well known over the years, but I'm sure they would appreciate some help in repairing the bicycles and getting them to a stage where they can be given away at Christmas time.
Ms. Burns, that's exactly what we did. So my mother told me about the Bicycle Man. She did that as a way to entice me to Fayetteville. And so she told me about the Bicycle Man. And so I've been over there for maybe like 3 years. And first I was just a volunteer for that Christmas event. And then one day I went and asked Ms. Mathis if I could just hang around the shop and just repair bikes. And so that's where I work on those bikes for my skills. So,
and thank you for that. That is awesome. Thank you. It is a great cause and it's a great organization.
Yeah, she is my mentor. She is really my mentor.
And you should be recognized for that, because the Bicycle Man, I see that on the news around the holidays. And maybe they could help promote you there. But I have a question. You mentioned that the riders aren't going to stay in a parking lot. You guys are going to find a kitchen. Have you thought about partnering with like a mom and pop restaurant or even a larger chain restaurant that you guys could ride from the parking lot to the restaurant? So, and if you got thirsty or hungry, it would be a win-win situation for both of you.
Right, and so that's where I'm still learning Fayetteville. I'm still learning Apex as well. Apex is only like an hour and 20 minutes away, and so I'm just I need to get a map versus using GPS, because GPS is really a handicap for me. And yes, I do rent bikes. I don't think I fully mentioned as well, in line with the Bicycle Man spirit, I have been repairing bikes. I receive bicycle donations, and we repair bikes and we sell them.
Do you promote that on your social media? Because I'm thinking for some families that have lower income, they would probably greatly appreciate knowing that they have a lower cost alternative than to go buy a brand new bike for their child or whoever, or even a way to get to work. So for some people, it'd be a transportation thing. But they would love to know there's an alternative out there.
Right. And the only reason why I didn't really promote that yet, because I do need bicycles for rentals for my class. And so we pretty much sold out. And so I have to repair some more bikes.
Understandable, but when you get to that point, that would be something you would want to let people know because,
Right.
Because said for some people, it's not their child is a way to get to work.
Right. And I actually agree with you. And so that's why I need assistance with the website, because once the website is up, it's all of that will be in there. And so I'm going to have to produce.
Yeah. The other thing you could think about as well, since you mentioned there's a few things that you need help with, is partnering with some of the colleges and universities around, especially FTCC, because there may be students who are willing to take on doing some things for you to help your organization as part of a class project. For example, in my area, we have business programs, and for example, in our human resources, they often do put together manuals or training programs or whatever for local businesses that need that help. And it helps the students to have practical experiences doing that. And it helps the business at the same time that may or may not be able to afford to have a professional come in to do that for them. But there's a lot of alternatives. You can also look at work-based learning. You mentioned about doing part-time workers, but for a college student who's in that program, for example, they might be in web design, that they could help you and get class credit at the same time. So there's a lot of avenues that you could go that would not involve you hiring somebody full salary, full time, and benefits and all the other stuff.
Actually, I am delighted about the junior colleges in North Carolina, and I have been looking at Fayetteville Tech. Actually, I'm involved in your series that you're doing on business. And so I'm just delighted with the assistance that I have received thus far. I believe you guys were involved in that career fair at some kind of convention center. Like I said, I'm still learning names. And
That was at the Crown.
Hmm?
That was at the Crown Center
That's
here
where
in
you
Fayetteville.
met
That's
me.
where I
Yes,
met
that's right.
Ms. Franklin.
Yeah. Right. And so, yes, I am interested in having a partnership with the web-based, work-based training, and partnerships with the tech colleges. There was a lot of you guys there, and that was very impressive, some of your programs. And so I did talk to people neighboring booths, and they told me about their programs and what they offer at your school, and to me it's very impressive, and I would love that.
And I would be delighted to provide you with the work-based learning coordinator's information. So we'll talk after today. We've got a question in the chat. Latoya would like to know if you've thought about partnering, have you thought about allowing people to rent bikes, and that way they could pay for your safety course beforehand? So have you thought about renting bikes?
Yes. Have you thought about allowing people to rent a bike they could pay to take your safety course? Yes, and actually that's because so many people don't have bikes, or if they do have a bike, because when you come to one of our classes, we do go over your bike. And so some bikes aren't really, some of the bicycles that we see, they're really we're not able to put them on the road, and it's just too involved to fix them. on the spot. And so, yes, we do rent bikes. When I give a program, I try to have bicycles available. And then when people that come to our classes are coming from out of state as well. I don't know if I mentioned that. So we're getting people from out of state to come to our program, and they need a bike, even a mountain bike, because while they're here, they want to ride. And so that is something that I'm willing to work out with anyone that wants to ride. Especially when we're getting bike donations, that's my part of giving back to the community. So I try to keep bicycles on hand, and it is so hard because people want to buy the bike, and it's like, no, I need bikes for rental as well. And actually, it's not really rental to make a profit. It's just rental so people won't be denied the services of my program. Sometimes people aren't verbal. They won't tell you that they don't have a bike and things like that. And so when you talk about the website, when I'm able to say bicycles are available, come to the ride, that's better, because then everyone has the same opportunity.
So do we have any further questions for Deborah? If not, Deborah, I'm going to take the last question.
Okay.
What can this community do for you? How can we help you?
So as far as assisting me, if so, just talking about FTCC, I want the young people, and even any age, because it's never too late, to have the opportunity to find their place and to learn skills. And so I'm just starting with the bicycle, and I'm by education, my major was in human services, and I specialized in juvenile delinquency. So I'm interested in stopping people before they get in trouble. Prevention. I'm really on the prevention side, and so anybody that you come in contact with, even any group or individual that you think would benefit from my services, I would really like that referral. And I already mentioned just liking my pages, because I think I even have YouTube, and I think I need 100 likes to be able to have my own channel. So I would like to put on videos as well, on that people can come to and learn about our services, and maybe we can do some repair classes, little basic repair classes online, and put them on YouTube. And then just get the word out that, especially if you, another thing that we do as far as the bicycle, is a law that you have to have a white light in the front of your bike at night and a red light. And we also have a bicycle friendly motorist class. And so we have classes designed to teach people the rules of the road. And if as far as any presentation for the bicycle friendly motorist class, it's just teaching other motorists to ride safely with bicycles. I know people like to say share the road, and as a bus driver, we would say what road, because the streets are so narrow, but we can ride together with each other safely. And so I offer that class as well. And then just names, if you know, people have mentioned the YMCA and the Boys and Girls Clubs. If you know names of those people, you can always email me and give me the name of a person that you may think would benefit from our program. We're trying to reach as many people as we can. And the one thing about becoming a lead cycling instructor, you don't have to stay with me. You can start your own program. If you have some type of recreational program, you can add bicycling to that program and I'll help you set it up or I'll do it for you. And so I'm just trying to train. So it's nothing that you have to do with me. Once you receive the training, I want you to go out because we're trying to get everyone to be safe on these roads and no injuries or no serious injuries or death on the roadways in North Carolina. We're trying to decrease that number.
Deborah, I really appreciate it. Fantastic presentation. We definitely want to get you in touch with our work-based learning coordinator. Miss Cindy Burns is the Dean of the Business Programs here at Fayetteville Tech. She's also a 1 Million Cups organizer. I think we could probably get some information about some class projects and some resources for you to utilize. I would also suggest maybe summer skates here at Fayetteville Tech for our youth. She may be a great class for that. Also, check out the resources that Athena has posted about with our Small Business Center. I encourage you to utilize those. I would also like to invite you back as part of our audience. It's been great to have everybody today. I hope to see everybody back next week. We have a great presenter. We have Lorraine Home Health Care Agency that's going to come and talk a little bit about their business. So you guys have a fantastic day. See you next week.